Okay, compassion doesn't mean you give everybody who asks you for money money. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that everybody who says, look, I want to stay in your house, you let them stay in your house. That is not, compassion doesn't mean being abused. Okay, compassion means that you can care for them, you can listen, and you can also say, you know, I'm going to pray for you, but I cannot help you. Okay? It is not your job to solve everybody's problem. All right, seriously, it's not your job. Now, if you want to make it your job, that's on you. But compassion doesn't mean that everybody that asks you for 100 Rand, you're going to give them 100 Rand. It means, though, that you will listen and you will say, I love you, but can we pray right now? Can we pray right now? That's what I always say. Can we pray right now? And if they don't mean it, they will exit, run away. But sometimes they'll say, you know what, I really want to pray. Can you pray with me about this? So compassion is not a license for you to be abused. It is not that. Sir? Okay.
Let him go. Get him the transport to go. Don't give him the money. And then two.
Yeah.
In Ghana, for instance, we have an NGO that will support people. You know, they will come to you that I want a rent. I want you to help me to pay my rent. And then so what we do is, okay, where do you live? Where is the house? Then we go and do investigation on the house and see the owner of the house, and we'll pay the 2 years for you. You don't have access to the money. You want a place to sleep. We will pay for you, and you'll be in that house. If you don't like the place, then you go. That 2 years is for the organization. You understand? So don't always be the one who will be doing the work. Get people around you to support you, to follow up, and then do the work. I think that would be the best.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Is that somebody asks you, you know, look, I'm hungry. Could you give me money? Well, take him to get something to eat. And they'll say, oh, no, I want the money. Well, you know, that's too bad. Sir, you had your hand up.
Yeah. It's okay like this. Okay. Yeah, we run a center, and I can identify with some of the folks that have been speaking about being manipulated and so forth. But there's another good gift to operate with one of the gifts of the Spirit, or three of the gifts of the Spirit: word of knowledge, word of wisdom, and discerning of spirits.
Yeah.
And you must be a very strong discerner of one that's manipulating. So not totally that you must be prepared for manipulation. You can be prepared to meet a manipulator, but you not necessarily have to be manipulated. Because you need to also discern whether the guy is speaking the truth, and appreciate the fact that some guys will investigate, which is good. It's your right. If you're helping somebody, you cannot throw your pearls to swines. You need to help somebody that's really in need of help.
Right.
So I think we in a situation here, three of my colleagues, we run a center where we take in abused females, abused men, people off the streets, alcoholics and so forth. And we have this manipulation all the time. They want to manipulate. And sometimes we allow them into the center, and they make that center the playground. They try to practice what they've been practicing in the previous life, and which we don't accept.
That's right.
We give them notices, we get them back to the families, and they must go and find a way, because we want to help somebody that's really in dire straits and need of help. So it's not necessary that you have to be manipulated or go in the course of helping somebody who doesn't want to change.
Right. I think I think her comment was that it will over time happen. Not that you look for it, but I like your idea though that the spirit of discernment can really help you. But I will say that sometimes the stories are so compelling. You know, I fell off the train and look at the gout on my foot. And, oh, sorry. Okay, we're going to take a few more because I know we got to move on. But, sir, and then you over there in the nice orange,
Thank you, sir.
warm sweater.
Please, I would love you elaborate on the point 3, touch. If you throw more light on it.
Number, you mean that when you
The
touch?
third point, touch.
Yes.
If I could.
So there was a research, I wish I could quote it properly, that said that this boomer generation, which is anyone over 55 years old, are the least touched generation in history. And what's happening is that their families are moving further apart. They're living longer distances, so they're not living together in the same house. That may not be true in South Africa, but it's happening in many parts of the world where the young people are moving out either to the suburbs or in the cities, and they're not near their parents. And to me, that is one of the easiest things you could do, is touch someone, hug someone, shake their hands, hold their elbow. I mean, really, touching someone is a human element that virtual reality or augmented reality will never be able to duplicate. Because the skin on skin, this sensitivity we have in our fingertips is really a unique element that we can love people with. Just a simple touch. Rub a shoulder, tap a shoulder. If you're hanging out with guys, punch a guy in the chest. I mean, lightly. I think I did that to you yesterday. I just punched you in the chest. But I mean, that's just a way to say I love you and I appreciate you. It's good to see you. They say you only make fun of the people you love. So there you go, sir, in the orange.
I think the first point you made, that of being compassionate to yourself, starting with yourself, is very, very important, because the Lord also said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you don't set yourself up to be abused, and then you make sure that you take care of yourself very well.
That's right.
So don't sacrifice much of yourself and your family for the sake of others. Not that there should not be room to sacrifice where the need is very compelling. But I think you have to know your limits. To say I can help up to this point, beyond this point I can't.
Good.
Yeah.
So my last few minutes, I want to do an exercise. Look at your finger. Can you see the fingerprint? Can you see the kind of ridges and the curves in your finger? There's only one of you on the planet with this fingerprint. All right? So there's only one. There's not two, there's not three. There's only one of you on this planet. Likewise, when it comes to compassion, there's only your compassion that can be delivered. In other words, you can't copy someone else's. And just in this room, I've heard people talk about being hurt or not, but the compassion you deliver is yours, right? It's not mine, it's not anybody else, it's yours. And when you deliver it, you become Christ. Your fingerprints become Christ. Because you will find people who will take advantage of you. However, retribution and vengeance is not your problem. Let the Lord worry about that. Use the gifts of the Spirit, but know that your compassion is you being Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much.